Right, three, two, one, go.
Welcome to What's the Score for Everton's trip to Stamford Bridge. A big one in terms of the top four, but also a big test in terms of how far we've come in the last 12 months. Because this was the last game we played before lockdown and we got absolutely bladdered. So,
By a Chelsea team that had like loads of injuries that day as well. If you remember, like they had like a proper second string side out, and we were all feeling really confident. And
yeah,
we just turned up. Ross Barkley took the piss, didn't he? Basically for the entire game.
yeah. And I mean, worryingly, our team then, there's only Sidibe who won't be playing tonight. I think pretty much everyone in that team is going to be in the squad at least.
Yeah,
But we're a different animal now, aren't we? To be honest,
absolutely, mate. Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, I think that alone shows how far we've come in the last 12 months, doesn't it? The fact that the same group of players is just a totally different proposition now until they get beat 4-0 tonight, obviously.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, but yeah, it's I don't know. Like I put on Twitter before, but I'm not sure if it's like if it's one of them which is a free hit or really nervous about it. I've sort of been back and forth on it all day, really. But and like some people are saying, of course, this is a big game. This is the sort of game we need to get a result from if we're going to be taken seriously. And others sort of saying, well, actually, probably what happens against Palace and Burnley and Brighton in the next few weeks is going to be more definitive for us. So
yeah,
I don't know, really. I'm sort of. I think if we get beat tonight, it doesn't like render all the progress we've made this season irrelevant because they're a good side. They're playing well and they've got a way of playing. I'm sure when the teams come out in a bit, we'll see. Like the attacking depth they've got in their squad is insane, really, when you think about it. And that's going to be tough for us. But yeah, I don't think by any means if we do lose, it necessarily rules out all the good stuff we've done over the last few weeks. I don't think necessarily means our season's over. But I believe in this manager and believe in these lads to be able to go there and get results in the same breath. So just one of them. Just hopefully we just sort of sit back and enjoy the game because I think the 3 wins in the last 3 have sort of given us that position to go. Do you know what? We can just have a bit of a go at this. Want to see what happens.
Yeah, it's sort of somewhere in the middle, isn't it? It's like if we do manage to beat them tonight, it's another of those monkeys off our back in terms of away grounds. It's a massive sort of statement of intent going into the final quarter of the season now, or the last third of the season. But by the same token, if we do get beat, having sort of got points at Anfield and Old Trafford, it's not the end of the world because not many teams are going to go to every single away ground and beat them, and beat those sort of bigger teams there. So yeah, it's kind of, I think as you say, it is a bit of a free hit in that regard, but it will be a nice game to win. Beating Burnley and Palace and teams like that, they are the games that are really going to get us Europe, I think.
Yeah, and I think if you win those matches, we will pick up points away from home because we're good at that. We've been good at that pretty much all season. But I think a lot of people were replying to that message today. I put out saying that if we get beat tonight, there's maybe a feeling that United, Leicester, and Chelsea might pull away. But I don't know. It's not really been that season, has it? I think the reason we are where we are is because we probably put together 3. Probably this is our 3rd really good run, isn't it, that we're on now? We had one obviously in December, one at the start of the season, but by and large, teams haven't been able to put together those sorts of runs. I think going into the weekend, it was something like Everton and Manchester City were the only teams to have won more than 1 game in a row going into the weekend, which just shows how inconsistent the league's been, everyone in the league's been. So I think if you can just pick up wins here and there, in your home games, get the odd result in a game you're not expecting, I think ultimately we'll be in the mix for it. I don't really see a situation where, all 3 of those teams certainly, maybe one of them might do, but certainly all 3 of those teams just suddenly go 5-6 wins in a row over the next few weeks. So I think as long as we keep picking up points, we defend well, we continue to be really resourceful and clinical, then we should be in and around the mix towards between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I think in spite of yesterday's results, I still think Chelsea are the most likely of that 3 teams to pull away. To be honest, because they've got the new manager, he seems to know what he's doing. Because I think they conceded 1 goal in 10 or something stupid like that.
Yeah, they've got a great record, haven't they? I think I think they conceded 1, which wasn't. I think they conceded 2 in the league. 1 was an own goal, and Minamino scored 1 against them the other week, didn't he? Which is really nice goal, to be fair. Yeah, but I think they just they found a way, haven't they? I don't know how much of them you've seen, but they just seem to keep the ball. Like they're happy just to have the ball for ages.
I'll listen to the match preview you did And
with Liam Toomey,
yeah, they've kind of gone back to a back three, which suits Aspilicueta better. It sort of suits the defender they've got better than just being isolated in a two, maybe, where they might not be as confident. So yeah, he has sort of taken the squad, seen what he's got, and made it work. And as you said, you've got a lot of attacking talent there. Timo Werner seems to be sort of getting better each week, doesn't he? Although, he's
lively, isn't he? He's always lively. And always
he can cause problems. Yeah, I mean, that he was unlucky with that offside at Anfield. So, it's players like that. He's not going to be rubbish all season.
Yeah, Giroud always plays well against us, doesn't he? So I'm hoping he's not playing tonight. He always seems to have a cracking game against us. In that 4-0, he absolutely ragged us everywhere, didn't he?
Oh, it was horrible, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think it was a bit of a harsh learning experience for Mason Holgate that night. And but Ben Godfrey and Keane are probably better suited to deal with him because he's physical in that sense, and they're both more physical than Holgate. But we'll have to wait. They could name there's probably like 8 players they could name in the front three, and it wouldn't surprise you because they have got that much quality. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see on that. But obviously for us, it's it's all about the midfield. I think we could. The defence won't be a surprise. I think that Richarlison and Dom are going to be on the pitch, but when it comes to that midfield, looks like Decore is injured. He might be injured for a while. Obviously not been confirmed yet, but put it this way, I'd be very surprised if he was in the team tonight. I've not said much on this. Alan just coming back. Davis has been injured. Gomez has been a little bit hit and miss. Sigurdsson's not really a central midfielder if you play him in there. It's that is the area of the concern for me tonight. You look at them and they're strong in there, aren't they? They've got Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho. I imagine 2 of those 3 will play.
And before Kante might not play the full game. He's injury or.
You've got people like Mason Malcolm drop in there. He's been playing with. So yeah, I think that's the one area of concern for me. But listen, how many times we sat on these shows and sort of looked at it and gone, oh, we could be out of our depth here today, etc., etc. And the manager's come up with a plan and been able to get us over the line. I think it's going to be tougher today because I think maybe aside from City, these are the best team in the league at the moment. But you've got to back the manager to thought this through, have a plan, and however the team lines up, I'm sure there'll be a method behind it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he will have been stung by last year. Wouldn't have been nice for him going back to Chelsea with Abramovich still there, like the fellow who sacked him pretty needlessly, it seems. That would have hurt, that wouldn't it? Getting leathered 4-0.
Yeah. Should we quickly wrap through some comments before we get
teams out in a sec.
So Andrew Millington, good morning to fellow US Blues. Good afternoon to everyone else. Morning, mate. He's anxious as hell right now. I don't think you're the only one, mate. Live event, this is a massive opportunity for Everton, not just to reach 4th, but go for 3rd. Why not? Mark Ellison, regulation 2-1 away win tonight. No talk about defeat. We win and move on to finish 3rd. A lot of positivity.
Wait till we get to the predictions.
Danny Tarrant, very on edge with this one. Chelsea didn't look great against the Reds. I thought they played really well, to be fair. But hopefully put in a top defensive performance, sneak a goal or 2 on the counter. B Wood saying Leicester, West Ham and Liverpool all need to play against each other and others out of the top 4, whereas our running is one that you would expect us to pick maximum points. I don't know about that, mate. We've got City away on the last day, which, could be tricky. And we've got Arsenal away as well, we never ever win. So, and we've got Keith Mellor saying we need to play a lot better than we did against Saints and West Brom. Otherwise, I feel as though we could get hammered. It's also Keith saying he loves the retro kit, Les, and very apt because that was the last time. It's a kit that Everton wore the last time they won at Stamford Bridge.
It is, yeah. This is actually the original shirt from 1995. I think it was 94, 95 season. I got it when I was in 6th form. Still doesn't fit me. Massive. Obviously, everything in the 90s was about 6 sizes too big. But yeah, the last time we won there, 94, one of Joe Rawls' first games. The cross from Limpar for the goal.
Oh yeah,
you'll see anywhere. And something that never gets played is Barry Horn's miss. It was shocking. Anyway, the teams are out.
Should we rattle through it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it looks like it's a back 4 we've got Pickford in goal, Holgate right back, Digne left back, Godfrey and Keane centre backs. Midfield 2, it looks like sitting in front of that of Alan and Gomez. And then Sigurdsson in front of them with Iwobi, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front. The bench is absolutely mad again. So it's João Virginia, Harry Schreier, Niels Nkunku, Kyle John, Tom Davis, Tyler Onyango, Bernard, Nathan Broadhead, Josh King. So Yeah, no major surprises. Obviously, Coleman's still not on the squad. Davis only fit enough for the bench. But
yeah,
what do you make of that? I think compared to some of our away games where we've gone, what on earth's that all about? It seems pretty straightforward. It's pretty obvious how we're going to line up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks pretty standard 4-3-3, that, doesn't it? To me, anyway.
I think Richarlison will be out wide again, won't he? Maybe have to sort of go and do a job on the left. And
Richarlison will be out wide.
Reece James is playing, or one of them lads. It's going to have to do a job getting back down. But I'm just trying to find that. Obviously, no Decore as well.
Mendy, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Zuma, James, Kovacic, Jorginho, Alonso, Havertz, Werner, Hudson-Odoi. So
no Giroud.
No, he's on the bench with Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Kepa, Kante, and Pulisic. Yeah, Ziyech.
So that, I mean, look at that. The depth in their squad is ridiculous, isn't it?
That bench is ridiculous, isn't it? And when you look at it compared to ours, like
that's insane. But yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it? That front Havertz has been a bit in and out, hasn't he? He's not really. I thought he was going to be amazing when he came in, having done so well in Germany.
Yeah.
So big chance for him tonight, albeit one of them you like to think you can get around him early on and unsettle him. Then his confidence might not be up. Hudson-Odoi's been playing wing back, hasn't he, primarily? So I don't know if he's going to be part of the front three with James playing. But they're just a quality side, aren't they?
Yeah. I think James is one of the best fullbacks in the league as well.
Yeah, he's been doing. He was in the game of Goodison when we played them, and I went to that. He was classing that as well.
Yeah,
let us know what you think of the team. If you're watching, everyone watches us on YouTube. Let us know what you think of the team. I mean, looking at the options available, the only one you could say could have potentially changed is Tom Davis in midfield. But other than that, assuming he's not fully fit, but they are basically the 11 lads you could pick.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Disappointing to not see James in there again, but obviously he's still not up to it. But we kind of expected that at the start of the season, didn't we? He'd miss a few games at a time because he hasn't got the injury record. But it's disappointing. But yeah, as you say, that's probably the only 11 he could put out.
Really, really shit about the Corey, isn't it?
Awful. Yeah, that's really going to hamper us, that, isn't it? Yeah,
just feels like
the club haven't said anything about it either.
No, I'm sure the manager will be asked about it, Moni, now, and they've got to provide an answer. But sort of heard for the last few days that it doesn't look good in regards to him potentially playing again this season, which isn't ideal. But I think he's one of them where even though he's not necessarily used the ball well in the last few games, I just think we'll miss his. It's just stuff like winning headers that get put forward from a goal kick. Getting his foot on the ball, being able to carry it, just being a presence in there. I think that that is something we are really going to miss. And it's a big ask for someone like Andre Gomez to be able to fill that. Alan will do it to a degree, albeit they're very different players. He'll sit and screen, but he's been the legs of the midfield, hasn't he? The engine of that team for a while, and without him in there, it's going to be. It's going to be really tough, I think, to fill that void between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, it is, as you say, it's asking a lot of Alan now, isn't it, to come straight back in after a long layoff. But he's going to have to, isn't he, really?
Yeah, and he's had injury issues, hasn't he, as well, since he come in. So
yeah, our options are really limited. Just hope that, Tom Davis is a player who's never really injured. I don't recall him ever being injured.
Yeah.
So you kind of hope that once he gets back in, that'll be him sorted for a while now. And then I suppose in one respect, it's good that Tom Davis looks like he could get an extended run in the side now. It would have been nice to have seen him with Alan and Decore, to be honest. They look really balanced, or would have looked really balanced. So yeah, it's a shame about Decore. He'd be a massive miss. But if there's a manager who can make the best of what he's got, it's Ancelotti, isn't it?
Yeah. Someone in the comments said, "I'm outside, Les." James Roberts.
I think he's just let himself in now.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's just been dropped off. So he must have just let himself in there.
But yeah, let us know what you think about the team. Like you said, not really tons else we could say about it or do about it with those options unavailable. But it is what it is. But
it kind of makes a change, doesn't it? Because we're normally a bit baffled at this point.
Yeah, I think. Do you think that side can get a result?
See, why not? they've all done it to some degree this season, haven't they? In one way or another, that team's found a way to get results where we've not expected it. So yeah, I don't see why not. It's going to be really difficult, and I think, as we said at the start, if we do get beat tonight, that's not being negative, because there's a good chance we'll get beat because Chelsea are playing really well and they've clearly got a better squad than us. But if we do, it's not time to be going overboard. It's not the end of the world, because it's one game against a team who's going for the same position in the league as us. But we've got a lot more games to make up the deficit there, and we're in a good position.
Yeah.
We've still got that game in hand against Villa, who are a very up and down team. I think it's probably better to play them at this stage of the season where they are now than when we were due to play them, because they started off really well. So yeah, I think they can. I'll get down to the scores because not many people do. Mike the Asher, 2-0 Chelsea. Laura, 1-0 Chelsea. Kate, 2-1 Chelsea. Paddy wants a prediction for if Davies is fit and another if Gomez plays. So, no, in true Park End fashion, said if Davies is fit, 2-0 Chelsea, and if Gomez is playing, 0-0.
Terrible behaviour, though. So 0-0, he thinks.
Adam Sutton, 2-4. So I think Adam thinks we're going to stick 4 past them.
He's right. Some go in that.
Jack said 1-0. I assume it's 2-4 that way, because it must be, mustn't it?
Yeah. Adam's a positive guy.
Yeah. And Jack said 1-0. I think I'd go with 1-0, to be honest. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we might score looking at that side. I think we've got enough to trouble them from set pieces. Obviously, Richarlison's in great form. Dom, that's not been a bit hit and miss, hasn't he, since he come back from that injury. He was amazing at Anfield and was a bit ropey in the game since. I think he actually played all right against Southampton. Wasn't his best against West Brom. But he can cause problems for them, absolutely. So I do fancy us to score. I just don't think we're going to be able to... I don't think we'll necessarily have enough time on the ball to be able to get out and establish ourselves. So I think they might score as well. But I think I'm going to go for 1-1 as well. So Files. Yeah. I think for the first time ever, I got the score prediction right on Thursday.
Yeah, sorry, a bit remiss of me not to say. Yeah, so, score right.
But I did say we get like a late goal from an unlikely source, so it wasn't, bang on.
Yeah. But the score was right.
Yeah.
Put that on in the bookies, you get you winning. Just to sort of like stay on the positive vibe here for this game. If you think back to the game at Goodison, we were in a bit of a rut at that stage. These were flying under Lampard, and we turned the game on its head, didn't we? I mean, as the guy on the match preview said, probably should have been 0-0 with the chances created. And that day at the post, it probably should have been a draw. We scored the penalty, and we saw the game out. So if you look at it in that respect, we shouldn't really be fearing them too much because they're on a good run of form. Because, we're going into this in a good run of form as well. But the form away team in the league. So yeah, again, it's another one that's up to us, isn't it? Those lads have to go out and put 100% in because there's no room for any passengers again. Certainly not in this game.
Yeah. I just realised the Chelsea team, by the way, Mason Mount on the bench. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
He's been...
Well, Havertz instead of him.
Yeah, he's been probably their best player recently, hasn't he? So
yeah, it's been really good.
But yeah, you're right, mate. I think we were all very negative going into that game, weren't we? And didn't really anticipate us doing much. They were in great form, but yeah, it's going to be tough. It'd be amazing if we could, to sort of knock another one of these records on the head, as you mentioned. Like the Anfield one would be fantastic. It'd just give everyone so much more belief going there in the future. But going to be tough. But trying to stay positive because in recent weeks, I don't think these players and the manager have given us any reason to be negative, really. They've been great away from home. Haven't lost away from home for a long, long time now, and they seem to be finding a way. So fingers crossed they can do it again tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully Jordan Pickford hasn't cut his hair because he's definitely better with his hair long, isn't he? Any more predictions or that?
Yeah, if you want to send predictions through very quickly, we'll do a couple more minutes. We've got HL3 saying 3-0 Everton. Don't know why.
That's right.
Dreamt it last night. Fair enough. Lee Booth saying it would be right wing back. It wouldn't be what's the score. We didn't have a conversation about someone playing in a wing back, and we had a back three, mate. But I'd be surprised if that was the case. Would you? I'd
be surprised, but if you look at the team now, it kind of makes sense that it could be. To be honest,
could be a back three.
It could be a back three. Yeah, who
I
knows?
think as long as Mason Holgate keeps playing at right back, we'll always say, could that be a back three? Could that be a...
Well, I suppose it's sort of one of those, isn't it, where like we did at Anfield, where it's a back 3/5 when we're defending, and then it goes into like a 5 or a 3 up front when we're attacking. So yeah, be interesting to see.
Ian Clark said 1-1. Yeah, I think we've all said 1-1, haven't we? I mean, you have on this anyway. So
yeah, Jack did as well. So
yeah, and Keith Mellor saying, I think Alan and Davis can cover Decore's absence in terms of his energy in midfield. Decore's not been playing great recently anyway. I don't know. I don't think either of them can cover ground as quick as Decore or got the same sort of presence as Decore in terms of his physicality and his strength in the air. Neither of them are going to get forward and chip in with a goal either, are they? Like Decore can do on occasion.
The thing with Decore is his passing's been well off the last few games, but I think the rest of his game's been sound. The amount of pitch he covers, the breaking down moves, as he said, winning those scrappy headers in the middle of midfield. The rest of his game's been sound. So it's, you do wonder if he has got this injury or has been carrying this injury. That's why that is.
Yeah.
But he will be missed massively. But yeah, I suppose on a positive side, we have got Tom Davis to come in. He's been playing brilliantly.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Right, should we leave it there? Get ready for the match?
Yes, let's do that. Who's on post-match?
Dave, Mose and Lyndon. So should be good.
Lovely stuff.
Should be good.
Come back for that. Enjoy the game. Up the toffees.
Up the toffees.